So let me talk about the past so that you know whether or not this reading applies to you because the message is quite amusing. So I feel like this. I feel like some of you have averted some traps, have avoided some shady situations and some shady people. And a lot of you have kind of like seen through, like, thought about the future, seen through somebody's ulterior motives, and you have successfully waited patiently for this person to slip up, and then you would give them, that cutting out them out of your life. And so I feel like you have averted a lot of temptation, avoided a lot of risky situation. And because of that, you're becoming a lot wiser, a lot more discerning, and a lot more, I guess, like self-assured. And so moving into the present moment, I feel like some of you are at a point where you're very critical. You're just critical of the people that you meet. And it's almost like you might be borderline like pessimistic, and you might just be like, okay, this person's too good to be true. I'm waiting for them to slip up. I'm waiting for them to tell me a lie. I'm waiting for them to, say something that is not in accordance with what they believe. And so I can give them the cut. And be very careful about this tendency, okay? Like to want to dissect people, to want to understand like hidden, like ulterior motives, to really want to like get, I guess, like have one up on people. So just be very, very careful, because I feel like on the one hand, you have a very, very sweet, loving side to you. And then on the other hand, I feel like it's so like you have such a good gauge of human character and human nature that is really hard for you to trust in a person 100%, because there's this innate fear that, oh, they're going to slip up. And so be careful about, straddling that fine line. Just make sure you are present in that experience and don't project too much into the future. Don't think about worst case scenario, and don't be so pessimistic, because, it's sort of like that self-fulfilling prophecy. And especially that message about, if you seek certain answers, you will find. And that takes me back to this story about, how some people, they think that like, their boyfriend or girlfriend is cheating on them. And so they look through their phones, look through their social media profile to find some things that would validate whether or not the other person is cheating on them. So the thing is, if you're looking for something, you will find it. So the message here is to be very careful of the tendency to, expect the worst, okay? Because it can create a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I feel like, it's working at cross purposes within yourself, because you want to open up your heart. You want to be able to trust and to let other people in. But you're kind of like sending out mixed messages. So be very careful of this tendency to project the worst, to think of the worst, okay? You might just be listening to this and thinking, no, I'm just being realistic. But the thing is, project positive vibes and you will receive positive energy in return. Okay, so that's just something I want you to keep in mind. I feel like for others of you, you have been tempted by somebody in the past. And they came at you, like a few times, and you're just like, no, 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 get away from me. And well, you didn't say that, but you sent out that vibe. And I feel like you were so fearful for whatever reason. You were so fearful of the outcome in getting involved with this person for whatever reason, and that you kept them at arm's length. And then, you might realize, oh, they've moved on and they're a really good person, but they've moved on. It's almost like you could have had a good relationship, but they have already moved on because you tried to keep them at arm's length. And you might find out now belatedly that, oh, they were actually a really good person, or, I could have had a really good life with them, or I should have, given them a chance. So I feel that element here of like, a little bit of regret, but also you're happy for them that they've moved on. So I feel like deep down, there's that regret, but you're also very happy that you're not dealing with that situation anymore. And then for others of you, I do feel new love blossoming for many of you. I'm seeing like a lot of chemistry with another person, a lot of excitement with another person. And I feel almost as if this person is on the same boat as you are. They're also a little bit on the pessimistic side. They're a little bit they're too much of a realist. So they might lack imagination. They might not be very spontaneous. And so I feel like you're both peas in a pod. You're both very skeptical of each other. But I feel like the attraction is very, very strong between you and this person. And I also see massive amounts of online communication between you and this person. So you might be meeting them online, and I'm seeing you, you both staying up very late, either texting each other, talking to each other, emailing each other, or something through social media. So I see a lot of your electronics getting lit up. So I feel as well you're going to be in very high demand. I see a lot of people coming your way, a lot of suitors, a lot of solicitors as well. Just be very careful about who you choose to spend your time with, because I feel like they're not all good people. So just be very, very selective as well. And if you're pressed for time, choose the people that are the most consistent. Choose the people that, mean what they say and say what they mean, rather than spinning you this pipe dream, okay? Because I feel like in the past, you might have dealt with a lot of people that you had a very strong emotional connection to. So it might not have been a rational choice, but for whatever reason, you were very emotionally drawn to them. And in your eyes, they could do no wrong. And so it wasn't a practical it wasn't like a rational response. It was an emotional response. And you got very disappointed because they say they're one thing, but you find out they're another. Or, they say they're going to do this, and then they do the opposite. Or they're all talk and no action. And so you're going to have to, break out of your usual type a little bit. So make sure you have that rational response to another person rather than just emotional. And what I mean by that is, let's just say, you go on a date with somebody, right? And you both share the same experience. So you feel like, oh my gosh, this person is like my peas in the pod, like it's like you share the same womb, and you become very emotionally attached to them. And then you might realize some red flags or some qualities about them that are less than admirable. But because you're so emotionally attached, you overlook these things. So be a little bit more careful about, looking at a person realistically. Okay. So I feel like you have been through some disappointing relationships where the people were less than honorable, where the people did not represent, themselves in a realistic manner. And so moving into new relationships, you're still kind of scared, and you're still, you've got your guard up, and you've also, you also think about the worst case scenario. So just be careful about, not letting the same people back in, but also being a little bit more critical, like discerning as well of new people, and make sure people hold up their end of the bargain. So if they say something and they don't follow through, and they keep doing that 2 or 3 times, just cut your losses. Okay. Don't invest any more time. So you have a lot of good things coming through, but I feel like, old cycles are trying to sabotage new things from coming to fruition. So just be very careful about that. I feel like old patterns, old cycles, old mentalities are trying to sabotage new things from coming to fruition. So approach new things with a new, like a fresh pair of eyes. Okay. I know it's easier said than done, but you're going to have to do this. Okay. So open yourself up a little bit. Allow new things to take root, rather than using the outdated or even old framework of looking at new situations. Okay, so let's go into your reading here. Okay, so it's a little bit of a mixed bag, but I feel like depending on who you are involved with, let me just see here. Well, the good news is I don't really see exes. I don't see exes, which is always a good thing. Okay, so let me talk about the long distance relationship first, because that is coming out here. We have here the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands is a relationship where one person is in the picture and the other person is not. So usually with when I read this card, it seems like it's a long distance relationship, okay? Or one partner is traveling for this month, so you're not in close proximity or close contact with them. But I do feel as if there's still going to be communication, okay? So it's a relationship that's still hanging on somewhat. It's linked up here with the Judgment card. And the Judgment card is in the reverse position. So this is basically, you're waiting on them. You're waiting on a decision of another person. And I feel like they might be caught up a little bit too much in their own lives, in their own travels, in their own career expansions. They're trying to find opportunities to better themselves. And so you're waiting on them to get to that next milestone before you decide on the fate of the relationship. Some of you are involved here. I'm seeing like, I'm seeing here an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And then I see an earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. So you might have these two people in your midst and you're trying to work things out. And I feel like, innately, there's a lot of chemistry in the relationship, because what I have here is the Eight of Wands, which is constant, stable, and just really strong communication, okay? And air signs are great communicators, and we have earth signs who are very truthful and honest. And so overall, I feel like there's a lot of communication. There's really, really strong mental energy, a very strong mental connection where you might talk about every topic under the sun. They're very knowledgeable, and I feel like they spark you off mainly because they are somebody who's, despite being an earth sign, for example, they're usually homebodies, but I feel that you are very fascinated by either that earth sign or that air sign, and they bring with them a lot of new things into your life, like new ways of thinking, new ways of believing as well. So I feel like it's not a smooth relationship where it's status quo. They really challenge you to become a better person, to become more well-read, to become a little bit more, to like be a little bit more of a creative thinker. So there's a lot of good energies here. It's linked up as well with the devil, and the devil is shown up in the reverse position. And with this energy, I feel like this is a relationship where people don't have to put up a front, okay? You don't have to be shy about how you express yourself. You don't have to be candid. You don't have to hold back. They likewise don't need to hold back, because I feel like the communication is very direct, very frank, and there is no pretense in this communication. And I'm also sensing some of you, if you have been involved with an earth sign in the past, okay, so this is a Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn. And if there has been any type of codependency issues in that relationship, I feel like if you're involved with the earth sign and they've had like a series of bad luck with their career, they feel like they're spinning their wheels and not making traction professionally, especially. I feel like this is the month in which they're going to feel a lot better about their life. They're making traction in their career, and you're going to be hearing about, the successes. Okay. So I feel like you might still be dating this person or might be involved with this person, but it seems to me like they've had a lot of blockages, and I'm seeing this energy of like, woe is me with that earth sign. And, I feel like they felt like ineffective. They felt like they were being blocked left and right. And so this is the month in which they're going to be able to step outside of themselves and to be able to like accumulate a lot of good luck when it comes to their financial resources, their financial security, their career track. And I do sense because of that, you're going to be deciding as a unit what to do, how do you proceed, and how to work things out together as a unit. Okay. If you are dealing here with an air sign, so we have here an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra, and this person, we have the Nine of Cups. So this is a person that is very, very close to your ideal. This is somebody that really cares about you, and I feel like they wear their hearts on their sleeves. Okay, so air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, are notorious for not being very emotional. And I feel like you need that emotional connection with another person. However, this person, their facial expression it's reveals their true feelings. And so you don't need to have, you don't need to dig deep to know how they feel about you. With this Nine of Cups, is sort of like your, whatever is happening in their lives, I feel like the blockages are clearing up. They're going to be able to make an emotional appeal to you or to reach out in an emotional way with you. So if you have an air sign in your midst, they're trying to make amends. Their life might have been a little bit messy. I feel like they might be messy, or their lives might be a little bit messy. They might, you know, be very undisciplined. Like, I'm seeing overindulging in food, overindulging in drinks, waking up, like sleeping all like really late at night, waking up very late in the daytime. So I'm feeling somebody who is very unstructured, and you know, like I'm seeing like messy hair. Okay, I'm seeing somebody like who doesn't really care how they look, so they're a little bit like carefree, and I'm sensing that there is this strong love-hate relationship here, because I feel like innately you might not be compatible, but the person is very just carefree, and you like how independent they are. And so it's almost like somebody that is so different, so outside of your usual type, that you don't know what to make of them. It's like they're throwing a wrench in everything that you believe a relationship is supposed to be. So they're like a major outlier in your romantic life, and you don't know what to do with the information. You don't know what to do with them. But if you're seeing this person, they're checking off some major prerequisites that you need in a relationship partner. And I feel as if they're still emotionally a little shy, a little bit guarded, but they have a great deal of love, and it's going to take some time for them to open up emotionally. Okay. So if they are dealing with some turmoil, if they're kind of like messy and, you know, just clutter and things like that, they're getting their life in order. That's what it feels like to me. So you're dealing with some people that are, you know, right on the brink of a major breakthrough in their professional life, in their financial life, in their personal lives, which is good. I feel like you're sticking with this person. You know they're a good person, so you overlook all the little things, right? So this is a card, once again, of like overlooking all the little things and not feeling so much in conflict with another person, letting the little things slide. And because of that, I feel like they understand that you're very accepting, and so they themselves become a lot more confident. And when they're confident, they're also attracting very positive things into their life. This earth sign has some is making serious strides in their career, and I feel like they want you to come along with them. Okay, so there might be a move. So if they are at a distance from you, they might want you to move. Okay, and they might just make that gesture towards you. If you're dealing with this air sign here, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, I feel like they're making some serious strides in their own personal life as well. And they're a lot happier and well adjusted. And I feel like the relationship is going to harmonize itself. Which brings us to the future position. I talked about the present. Yeah. So which brings us into the future position. And we have here no longer feeling stuck, no longer feeling bound, and knowing exactly how the other person feels about you so that you can move ahead, okay? And some of you, the only thing that's holding you back here, we have here the Ten of Swords. This is a previous betrayal, a situation where somebody has either told you a lie, has been deceitful, has been, you know, has betrayed your trust. So let's just put it that way. And you dealt with this in the past. And I feel like because of it, it made you very cautious. And it also made you very weary about getting involved in new relationships. But I do feel that the people you're dealing with, they're generally honest. But I feel like they had blockages in their own lives where they can't really commit to you because of circumstances. Not so much because of how they feel about you. You might have thought in the past that it was circumstantial. You might have thought in the past that it was actually the way they feel about you, but you might realize now that they can't commit because they don't know where they themselves are headed. And because of that, I feel like you are dealing with somebody who is very, very fearful of commitment, but there's going to be some breakthrough here about them being able to finally commit to you. Okay. And so what's coming through in the future with the Chariot card in the reverse is like two people wanting the same things but have different ideas about how to get there. We have a little bit of a stall energy here because I feel like people need to wrap up pieces in their lives before they can be a good relationship partner to you. So any way that you put it, if you are newly dating, for example, take things very, very slowly. It is Mercury in retrograde. So people that come through during this cycle, especially new people, they aren't everything that they seem. So be very careful about, deluding yourself into thinking somebody's perfect. It's not that you won't meet the right person. It's just you need to be a little bit more careful. What seems very exciting might actually be what seems initially very exciting about another person might be a source of contention and conflict further down the line, okay? And I feel like what might be a cute quality that you think about another person or you see in another person might be might make it difficult for the relationship to progress. So if you are out dating, take things extra slow it down. And I feel like the other person might be pushing for you to move full speed ahead, but I feel like it's in your best interest to try to slow it down. And then for others, I feel like you're still dealing with I feel like you're leaving that past person in the past. And I don't see exes and things like that coming back into the picture. I see like new people. And I feel like this is going to be an emotionally fulfilling month, especially for those in relationships. I feel like relationships are being solidified. And there's a lot of joy and contentment and happiness overall. And hopeful thinking too, like, that sense of optimism in your love life. That's going to be returning for this month, okay?